Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of S.H.Figuarts Kamen Rider Zolda from Kamen Rider Ryuki. Let's go ahead and jump right in and take a very quick look at the packaging because we have a lot to cover. So typical style we have gotten for the Ryuki packaging, mainly gray, but you have some cracked mirror effects around here. It says Master Rider Zolda. I wish they would change all of them to Kamen Rider. Ryuki logo, you got Zolda over here shooting, Figuarts, name at the top, name on the side, name on the other side. On the back, it shows all the cool stuff you can do with the figure. Shoot vent, add vent, double shoot vent. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, and it's done in this cool broken mirror style. But so, neat packaging, nothing too spectacular to speak of. Now for accessories, he comes with quite a bit. Let's show off first the figures. These are figures. They're really small and flat. They're cards you get them for all the various vents. As you can see there, you get the double shoot vent, as I just said. They all have backs, and they're all very cool. I just don't pull them out because I'm not going to use them, and then I end up losing them. But apparently if I don't show these, then I'm the worst review of all time. So, those are those. That makes no sense. So, coming with quite a bit here, that sounded completely wrong. First off, let's show his gun. This is his signature weapon, and the weapon that he uses to read his advent cards. As usual, very nicely painted. And it has some cool functions, which you can actually slide out the card reader, so you can put cards in it. And it actually cocks. That sounds wrong, but see, look. That's cool. That's just cool. And it actually has that. And then you get a bunch of hands here. I kept the closed fists on him because of the pose I'm probably going to end up keeping him in. And then you've got like open, upset hands, and holding the gun hands, and more holding the gun hands, and relaxed hands, and all kinds of fun hands. And then you get all of his cool shoot parts. You get these various parts of Magna Giga that will become like shoot vents and such. And all you do to combine them is, well, combine them and then open this in the back, and then he'll be able to hold this. Very well done. Really nice glossy green paint job on this, and all the details are really well done. If you remember, a version of this also came with the Figma Kamen Rider Torque figure, but so very cool. Well done. I'm not gonna bother just showing you what it looks like holding it, because it's just like, that's what he looks like holding it. Just picture it and then you can see it, and it shows it on the back of the box too. And that'll just eat up your time. And then you have these double shoot vents, which you're going to put over his shoulders, like this. Once again, very well painted, nice glossy green paint. A good paint job all around here. I will show that in just a moment. I'll probably show it next to last or something, or last. And then you have these small little pieces here, which aren't that important. This piece here is to attach to the back of his double shoulder gun for like Tamashi stage to give balance. And here's this. Okay, I am not going to do this, but I'm going to explain it, because if I did it, it would just eat up your valuable time, and it wouldn't be entertaining. This has to be the stupidest way I've ever seen of attaching a weapon to someone's belt. Okay, so this is what you're supposed to do to attach his gun to his belt. Okay, I'm not, because I did it several times off camera, and it always takes me a minute or two, or a few minutes depending on what falls on the ground. So I just can eat up time. And I'm eating up time just explaining to you how it's going to eat up time. So what you're doing is you're taking this piece off, replacing it with this piece, which is already sort of difficult, because when you try to put this ball joint into the side, this pushes and pulls and pushes and pulls, and it just looks naughty, and it's hard to do. And then you say stuff like it's hard to do, and it makes it more naughty. And then you're going to take off this little silver piece here from the gun, which is so small and can be difficult to get off that it will fling across the room, and you may lose it, might vacuum it up. So you want to take that piece off and then attach it to the side of the belt. I'm sorry, that's just stupid. And it took forever. They could have figured out something way better and not annoying at all. I just don't like that. It's just really stupid and looks funny, and I just don't like it. So, like I said, I'm going to show this piece last, because I'm just going to go ahead and go over the figure now. As typically with these, the Ryuki series Figuarts are done very well. The head sculpt is done very nicely. They got all good paint on there with the silver and the green and such, and the black visor. It's kind of a more basic of the few, because you got like the standouts like Ryuki and knight with his hidden compound eyes, but it still looks very nice. His armor is very well done, nice silver color with a bit of a shine to it. The shoulder pads are well done. What really stands out to me here is these things here, which are actually compound, like they look like little lights as if he's gonna have like run into traffic. But man, is that cool. Like, it's just a cool little detail that really makes you think you're getting a quality figure. The green paint is well done all around. His belt is done very well. His little deck slides out just like with the others and falls completely out. But so that's very cool and just a nice little touch that the Figuarts added. The green's done very well, as I said. Not a whole lot to go over on his bottom half. He's pretty basic, but the paint looks good. On the back here, not a whole lot to speak of, but just well done in general. Articulation, same Ryuki mold here. You got the 360 ball joint here, slightly hindered by his shoulder pads going on here. Swiveling here, double elbow joint, swiveling at the fist. You got movement at the waist, and then you do have it under here, the chest, but it's kind of blocked by his giant chest piece. 360 ball joint here, swiveling, double knee joint, swiveling at the foot, if I can get his move, there we go. Toe action, articulation. And then of course his head can go 360 all creepily and up and down and is on a nice ball joint. So typical Figuarts, typical Ryuki mode, very well done. I'm going to compare it quickly to the Figma in just a moment before I do the double gun cannon, or arm cannon, or shoulder cannon, or whatever cannon. I just have to say, if you haven't watched my other Ryuki Figuarts reviews, then you know that these are all well done. You wouldn't know. I don't know how that sentence just worked. Anyway, these Figuarts are just like a giant FU to the Figmas, because those came out before we had Ryuki Figuarts, and in my mind most of them were pretty solidly done, but they really wanted to blow them out of the water between the Advent Beasts and the accessories and how well built the figures are. It's just really funny. Like, Figuarts, because they're so, for lack of a better term, mass produced now, they come out so quick, you kind of get lesser quality than when they first came out, and they're kind of hit and miss. You could get anywhere from like a really nice quality like a Base States or a Tajador that's just really well done, to a more spotty quality figure like let's see, Elect States, where it's just kind of a mixed bag. But when you get a Ryuki Figuart, at least so far, they're always really well done. The paint job's great, no discrepancies. The articulation is always well done, no loose joints, really good accessories. Everything's just really well done. You can just tell that they put their effort into this one, where they just did a good job on it, where they didn't, skimp around and hurry up to get the figure out. And like I said, the releases can be kind of spotty nowadays, and that you can just tell, at least it seems to me, that they really put their effort into these Ryuki Figuarts in order to step it up from the Figmas. And here's the Figma. As you can see, the Figuart is a bit taller. The Figma doesn't look bad at all, but it looks kind of bad compared to the Figuart in some ways. I think that these two are the most similar in a way. I mean, their head sculpts are pretty identical in a lot of ways, in my opinion, with the Figuarts just being a little wider and bigger. But overall, it's just a better quality. As I've stated in the other reviews, I do prefer this kind of cool vinyl thing they got going on here to hide the joints. And the belts look a little more accurate because they're flatly painted, but you can pull these out, and that's just cool. And his gun doesn't even cock, it's just stuck in one position. But so that's the comparison there. The Figmas still aren't bad figures, but man, did they really want to show just how much better they are. They just put a lot of effort into these Ryuki Figuarts. So anyway, I just rambled on enough about that. So to switch off the shoulder cannons, you just pull these little pieces out. It can be a little difficult if you don't have long enough fingernails or some sort of maneuverability, so it might take me a minute. I tried to put them in there as like loosely as possible, so I wouldn't run into this problem. Excuse me. Come on. I have a little bit of fingernails. Come on. I'm surprised because usually when I have to do something like this is like right after I've cut my fingernails. Anyway, there we go. Now I've got that out. So then you just put these in here. Make sure that these pieces are facing up, and they go in, and then just bend them over his shoulders like so. And they look all cool. And then you can put them up in sort of a cannon pose. Let's do that. So that is really cool. That's something the Figma didn't have. It did have the giant kind of dick cannon bazooka thing, but it didn't have these, and this is just really cool. And because it's unique, it's probably how I'll display mine. Just really cool. Yeah, that looks awesome. So on to a rambling final thoughts. Really nice figure. They do a great job, like I said, on all these Ryuki figures. He looks good. He's got a lot of accessories. Excuse me. He doesn't come with his contract beast, but he comes with all you really need to do the main different events from the show, which is really nice. They are releasing his contract beast Magnu Giga in exclusive form. Not sure if I'll get it, but I'm glad they included his effect parts. Like, Strike didn't have really any, but he didn't really have much to do, but really cool that they did it. There's a lot of variety in the way you can display it. It's a high quality, no real QC issues, just another solid Ryuki figure release. The only real complaint that I have is that stupid way of putting on the gun on his belt. I think it could have been done a lot easier. Especially since I noticed, particularly when Ryuki figures started coming out, that they had simplified ways of doing things from the Figmas, where the Figmas had like really complicated ways of switching out like arm vents and stuff, that Figuarts had simplified it, and I was like, oh, that's just another one-up for them. But this one seems like a weird-ass way of doing it. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I appreciate your patience, but definitely worth a pickup if you are a Ryuki or Dragon Knight fan, in particular a fan of Zolda and or Torque. So anyway, that is about it. Until next time, make sure you check out RidersRangersRambles.com for token news in the craziest way possible. Until next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.